All right, you guys. Day 7 of the 30-day sober challenge, and I just want to say I'm proud of you. 1 week's a big deal. If this is really your first week of being sober, that's a huge deal. If this is day 7 of you actually choosing to work on things and address fears and choose to be present, and everything that we looked through this week, that's a big deal. I'm proud of you. So I wore my free hug shirt. If I was here, I'd give you a hug. My wife doesn't think this shirt right now is a very good idea, with everything with COVID that exists in the world and stuff. But here's the deal: sometimes we need a hug. So if I could give you a hug right now, I would. I'm proud of you. I just want to tell you that. Day 7. This is what I love about day 7. Our day 7s are going to be somewhat consistent throughout these 30 days, because what day 7 is it is a day that we map out the week ahead and we reflect back on the week we just had. So you just made it 7 days, and there is something beautiful, I believe, about taking a day and not adding a bunch more to-dos in your life, but learning to rest, learning to just take everything. You had a lot this week, to maybe just sit down with your journal and look back through it and just go, man, look at that. I addressed the fears. Oh man, I've been present for the last 2 days really well. I've chosen to be present in doing this. And I want you to look back and celebrate the little things that you've done. So day 7 is kind of a rest day. It's a reflection day. It's a kind of a look back on day. And I personally have grown to love that. For me, I take it on Sundays. Sundays is my day, where by Saturday evening, all my chores, all my things to do around the house, anything that doesn't bring life and joy to me, I take 24 hours and don't do it. And the reality is, you guys, the world keeps going without me, and the things that need to get done around my house get done some other point. But I take the time. So take the time. Take day 7. Rest. Look at what that looks like. What does rest look like to you? Now, I'm not talking sit in front of Netflix for the whole 24 hours of the day, because truthfully, probably it will not be very life-giving. But what brings life to you? What do you need to do today? And then at the end of day 7, what I want you to do is I want you to map out the week ahead. And what that looks like for me, I'll show you if you can see it. Here is so basically my calendar for the week. Now, what I do is, I have a calendar that's in my iPhone, and with that calendar, it has all my appointments, it has everything going on, it has everything with my kids and all that, right? But there's something, just like we're talking about when we journal, there's something about taking it from my brain and onto my hand and writing it out on paper. So I have a whiteboard calendar that sits on the side of my fridge, and I write it out every week. I take what's in my phone, I translate it into here, and then I look and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. But that's not the biggest point of it, right? What this does is it helps you map out your week. And I'm not talking about just putting in the appointments that you have. I'm talking about creating the space, because here we go again with the reality that if we don't take control of the time that we have, time will take control of us. See, if we choose to own every minute of the day and what we're going to do with that, then we do. If we don't, all of a sudden the days go by and you're sitting there going like, what happened today? What did I do today? Because the world owned me today. And so a calendar helps do this. It simply helps you go, I want to take control of the hours I have, because you can't get your hours back, but you can have choice and control. So for example, for me, this week I had a AA meeting at 6 a.m. on Monday, and I had another one on Thursday. I had a couple other random appointments. I put a surf day down Friday morning, because I knew if I didn't put surfing down that morning, I probably wouldn't go do it, because it wasn't but like in the calendar, right? So you have to choose. Okay, what does self-care look like for you? Is it going for a walk? Is it having coffee with a friend? Is it, watching one of your favorite movies? What does self-care look like to you? Is it going shopping? What brings life to you? And I want you to put that on the calendar, whether once a week or twice a week, that you create space in everything going on to do something that brings you joy. Maybe it's something that you haven't done in a long time because you've been so consumed with drinking that your other passions left. So maybe it's painting again. Maybe it's crocheting. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is for you, okay? But you gotta bring it back, because we need to own our days, and we need to decide where we're going to spend our time. You know, so for me, the way I look at my recovery is pretty simple. I have an anchor on my arm because the anchor to me reminds me, I'm the ship, right, in the harbor, and I want to stay attached to the harbor, but it requires me to have a bunch of lines and anchors, not just one. So for me, in my personal journey, I have multiple anchors. AA is one of them. Meeting with a friend for coffee once a week is one of them. Getting in the water to go surfing is another one of them. Self-care, taking time for just me. These are all anchors that I look at and go, this is my recovery program. These are my anchors. And we're going to talk more about anchors down the road. But my Friday, or I mean my Sunday, when I map out my calendar for the week, I look at it and not only think about all the appointments, all the other stuff that's going on, I look at it and I go, are my anchors in here? Are the things that I have put into place in my life to choose sobriety, to choose a recover, are they in here? Because if they are not, and I go weeks and weeks and weeks without adding them in here and not doing them, guarantee I'm going to relapse. Guarantee I'm going to drink again. Guarantee the fear is going to get too big and I'm not going to address it and I'm going to just say, screw it, I'm in. So this calendar is one of the biggest tools to me. It's just as big a tool as all the other stuff we talked about. So every single 7 days that you're going through this, we're going to pause. I'm not going to have you guys do any other journaling, any other stuff. You're just going to pull out your calendar. And what you do is you take the calendar from the week before and you look at it. And you go, oh, I did that. Oh, I had surfing on Friday, but I didn't go. Why? And you get to stop and ask the question, why? Oh, I felt like I had too much other stuff to do, so I made an excuse and I didn't go do self-care. Okay. Don't beat yourself up about the fact that you didn't do it. Just be aware of it and go, okay, does that really bring me life? Yeah, it does. Okay, then I'm going to add it again and I'm going to make sure I do it this week. You know, I have a workout on here that on Tuesday that I didn't do. Partly because, you know, I want to work out, but I have a tendency to throw that one out the door because I'm like, I'll do it later. But I put it in there because I like to, and it brings joy to me, and it brings life to me, and it gives me energy when I do it. But, I didn't make it this week. So I evaluate the week before, and then I wipe it clean, and then I map out the next week. And I go, okay, here's my self-care. Here's what I'm doing. Here's how I'm doing it. I look at that, and I go, okay, here we go. And so it's not only preparing you for the week ahead, but it's also letting you reflect on the week before. I hope this makes sense. If you have questions, you guys know you can always email me, Zach@bravingthejourney.com. That's Zach@bravingthejourney.com. I think the calendar is such a crucial piece that I want to make sure you get it. So email me any questions you have. All right. Proud of you guys. Free hugs.